basically there's a viewpoint from many Westerners about China that unfortunately is stuck in the past, and it could be 30 years old. We still, amazingly, even though we know that China is this rising power, that, they have all of this infrastructure, sometimes the stereotype that exists is still, China from the 1970s. Everybody's, driving bicycles, everybody's poor. A lot of these start to exist. And, again, I just started seeing more and more negative coverage of China, and I believe it really is, because of China's rise and what they've accomplished over the last 30 years. There's certainly, it is not a question of if China will become the number one superpower. It is always when China will do this. It will overtake the United States. That is a fact. That is something that the world will have to deal with. And so I believe that's when you started seeing a shift, and everything started to become a lot more negative on the media side.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely correct, Cyrus. I mean, I had an opportunity to write some books, and my last book about Russia, believe it or not, I addressed this particular concept you mentioned about the rise of China in the last 30 years. And this is, I believe, and this is my personal opinion, that is what is at the core argument for the West and the United States, why they didn't accept the rise of China. And the way to counter that is by providing this misinformation. And knowing how, we all know how Westerners' mindset is. I shall not generalize, of course, but we just consume whatever the media put out, because we don't have some critical thinking to think for ourselves. It's just whatever the government says, that must be it. So
there's a thunderstorm going on here, so if you're rumbling in the background, that's thunder in my eye.
No worries.
In 2018, I took all my biases and all my fears and went to China. Went to Beijing, Xi'an, and Shanghai. Mm-hmm. To say I was stunned does not tell you the story.
Yeah.
Those cities were more beautiful, more modern, more technologically savvy than any city I've ever been in. I've been in all the major cities in the United States, a number of Canada, and a number in Europe. Yeah. I was stunned.
Oh, absolutely. There's a really interesting phrase that I've heard, and it said there's basically two types of foreigners. There's one foreigner hates China, the other foreigner has been to China.
Can you hear me now? Oh, man can't hear me. Oh, that's crazy if nobody can hear me. Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, that's crazy. Can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear? Now you can? Now you can hear me? Yes? Type yes if you can hear me. Type yes. Type 2, type 3, type something if you can hear me. My man say he can't hear me. Okay, alright. So basically what I'm trying to say is that, there's always been a fear of, the black people rising in America or Canada or somewhere, anywhere in the north, right? So there's always been that fear. So I remember Public Enemy having an album called A Fear of a Black Planet, because, the ambiance you know, the ambiance in those days, where that, you know, black people were gonna come out of whatever situation that they were in, and there was such a fear. So mechanisms were put in place to keep the black people dormant, right? So, you know, thus, you know what I'm saying, the album A Fear of a Black Planet by Public Enemy. But today we're not talking about Public Enemy, nor are we talking about hip hop. But what we are talking about is basically this atmosphere, or the ambiance, or this cadence that's been going on, where, you know, it seems like a lot of people been shifting the, you know, the views on China. But I don't know from when it started or what triggered that. But that's what's going on. You know, you have a lot of people that will go to China and then come back, but their story will be different from, you know, the I guess the original idea that they had to go over there. You know, we may ask why, what happened, or what would make someone change their mind, or what were you thinking. So what I do a lot of time when I do have people coming my way and they ask me, oh, where you from, and then, oh, why you here in Hong Kong or China, I'll answer that. But the question that I would have for people is that, you know, is there anything that you expected it to be a certain way, and then you came here, you found out it wasn't it, you know? I give you an example. You know, I remember one of my favorite movies of all time is The Killer, or Hard Boiled. You know, this Cha Young Fah in there, right? And you see how the gunplay in there is just so amazing. You know, if you're a teenager, you even dreaming of, you know, man, started playing with guns and all that because of the movie. That's how real it is. You know, the producers, John Woo, of course, I'm not, you know, he's in the States now and making great movies. But my point is, you see these movies where you see the Chinese people playing with guns, and it's so in an amazing way. But when you get here, there's no guns here. So it's like, oh, so all the, you know, the view that I had about, you know, Chinese quote unquote gangsters, it's not the same way when you get here. So, and there's many other things like that. Again, I'm trying to set the stage here so I can jump in and really explain, you know, this whole idea of why am I getting kicked out of Hong Kong? I'm in Hong Kong now and not mainland China, you know. So, but before we do all that, I wanted to go ahead and play this chess move that I see our Prime Minister, you know what I'm saying? He made a chess move, but I'm wondering if the chess move is a forced move on the chessboard, right? But again, let me just play it. Let me play the chess move, and then we can figure out if the chess move is actually a, you know, a opening. Is it a middle game, or is this a forced move towards the ending of the game? That's what we gotta look at it. You know, that's how I'm seeing it. Let me see here. What am I sharing? What am I sharing, man? I'm sharing.
With U.S. prosecutors to end a bank fraud case against her. Two Canadians detained by Chinese authorities on spying charges just days after Meng's arrest, Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, were embraced on the tarmac by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau after they landed in Calgary. China has previously denied engaging in hostage diplomacy, insisting that the arrest and detention of the Canadians was not tied in any way to the proceedings against Meng. Chief Financial Officer Meng Wanzhou arrived in China on Saturday, the same day two Canadians detained by Beijing returned home. Meng's nearly 3-year U.S. extradition fight ended as she was met at the airport in Shenzhen with a veritable hero's welcome, where she was greeted with flowers and applause by a jubilant crowd of well-wishers. Her return follows a deal with U.S. prosecutors to end a bank fraud case against her. Two Canadians detained by Chinese authorities on spying charges just days after Meng's arrest, Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, were embraced on the tarmac by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau after they landed in Calgary. China has previously denied engaging in hostage diplomacy, insisting that the arrest and detention of the Canadians was not tied in any way to the proceedings against Meng. The extradition drama has been a central source of discord between Beijing and Washington, with Chinese officials signaling that the case had to be dropped to help end a diplomatic stalemate. Meng was detained in December of 2018 in Vancouver after a New York court issued an arrest warrant saying she tried to cover up attempts by Huawei-linked companies to sell equipment to Iran in breach of U.S. sanctions. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman said the charges against her had been fabricated in order to suppress the country's high-tech industries.
Okay, so we got that right? So we got that right. We got that part right. I don't want to be yelling, but let me see what's really going on here. Let me see what's really going on here. So basically what I was trying to show by showing that, so they, you know, this is a chess move. If you're familiar with a game of chess, it's a chess move by both parties, right? But all along, you know, it has been a secret that's going on, but there's so many distractions. We're distracted by this and that. But what I'm trying to say is that in between somebody being released from Canada and other Canadians being released over there, wherever they were held, us over here abroad as Canadians, you know, we're going through a lot. There's a lot going on in Hong Kong and China if you're a Canadian, right? If you're not aware, I can play that video again. It's just that, you know, as a Canadian, there's a lot of things going on. You're not gonna get the extra milk or the extra whatever, the extra cookie that you were asking for. There's nothing like that. There's no, you understand what I'm saying? And you're Canadian, plus you're black, so it's like double. You know what I'm saying? You just listen. It's a mess out here, but at the same time, is that you know, the prime minister made a chess move, and of course, if you ask me, that chess move was forced. It's one of those moves that you got to make this move, otherwise it's, you know, it's either a stalemate or we are not going anywhere. So I'm gonna play the video again, and so I'm gonna break it down once more. You know, I'm going to play that video again so we can understand what's the ambiance, the atmosphere that I'm trying to set here, the mood that I'm trying to set here, as you know what I mean, like a movie director. I'm trying to set the mood so that we understand exactly what is it that I'm saying, and we can keep going from that point. Let me see how I can share this again. Let me share this again. Let me share this one more time. You know what I mean? Let me just type in. What am I typing in? Let me type in. Whatever it is I'm typing in. Prime Minister makes a move. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau releases a prisoner, releases somebody. You know, that's what I want to play. This is what I want to play.
What do developers build on the SendGrid API? A service.
So for those who just tuned in, it's basically, you know, there were Canadians held in hostage. They call it detained, but let's just use the word hostage. You know, they were basically hostages. And there was a Chinese woman in Canada also in trouble, but because of the power structure, this is what I'm trying to aim at. Because of the power structure, China has forced Canada to make a move. Am I saying that Canada is weak? I can't say that. That's my country, so I'm not gonna say that Canada is weak. But were we forced to make that move? This is where we at. This is where we at. Let's listen one more time.
The aircraft carrying Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor left Chinese airspace and are on their way home. They boarded at about 7:30 Ottawa time along with Dominic Barton, Canada's ambassador to China. These two men have gone through an unbelievably difficult ordeal. For the past 1,000 days, they have shown strength, perseverance, resilience, and grace, and we are all inspired by that. I want to thank their families who've been there for them, supporting them in every way they could, and support. I want to thank the countless diplomatic and other Canadian officials who have been tireless over the past 2.5 years to secure the return of these two Canadians. I want to thank our allies and partners around the world and the international community who've stood steadfast in solidarity with Canada and with these two Canadians. And finally, I want to thank Canadians who have kept them in our thoughts and remain determined in the core value that Canadians have of standing up for each other and looking out for each other. These two men have been through an unbelievably difficult situation, but it is inspiring and it is good news for all of us that they are on their way home to their families.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this conversation very slow, but at the same time, it's not going to be one of those conversations where I'm just going all over the place. This is a very particular situation where, you know, you had fellow Canadians being held for over 2 years, and then you had Miss Wang, or Miss, I don't know her name, right? The executive for Huawei, the company Huawei, you know, and then you saw how she came out, how she landed. Like, I'm pretty sure that all of us saw how she landed. Now, within the black community, a lot of time we celebrate when we see Meek Mills coming out of jail, taking a helicopter and going home, you know, renting a helicopter and going home. This is not that type of party. Like, these type of people, when they get released from jail, you see flowers everywhere. The whole country stops. The whole country comes and greet you. Oh, you the daughter of such and such. We're talking about a daughter of such and such. Listen, this is not that type of party where Meek Mill's just gonna get out of jail and then everybody's gonna jump up and down. Oh, Meek Mills took a private jet back home out of jail like a rock star, right? She's not on that plane. When she lands, the whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole premises is shut down, and then flowers are being made on the spot for her. Different level. But with that said, I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is that are Canadians, like, are we weak? Like Canada, is Canada weak? That's my question. And I don't think that we are weak. Definitely not. What I think is we were forced into making this such a chess move. Why is that? Because we don't have, you know, we don't have leverage. We don't have the power, like economic power, to then sit down and say, listen, if you don't release such and such, these two, you're never gonna see them again. You can see it, like, you can see it in front of your eyes that this is a situation where, you know, China can just sit back and say, listen, we're not even playing. Yeah, she's not a political leader. She's, you know, she's not a part of, but she is Chinese. And if you don't release her, those dudes that you got over here, never mind. You know, let's just cancel everything out. As a matter of fact, just to add on to that, the way I'm seeing the situation is as if this whole pandemic era that we're going through, I'm thinking China already told you, like, listen, y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Open up between y'all and then do whatever you guys want to do. Conduct your regular life within yourself. We're going to be over here. We're shutting down our borders. We okay. There's 1 point something billion of us. We are good. At this point, I'm thinking. And I'm guessing China will have to be the last one to open its borders to the whole world. Because if China doesn't, then every country gotta have to hurry up and start making factories and start manufacturing things on their own. Like the other dude suggested that, oh, in order for us to stop China from growing, we must stop buying from China. And the question was posed, did he throw out his wife? His wife is Chinese. Did he throw out his wife? Because he doesn't want to deal with China anymore. He doesn't want to have to have anything that's Chinese. But the wife is Chinese, so what are you gonna do, right? So with that said, again, we see it right now. We see it right now that China is in a position where China could make these type of moves, and China is able to force you into a move that may lead, to a better situation for China, or it could just be a middle game where everybody's trying things, right? On the chessboard, you have the opening game, you have the middle game, and the ending game. So for our prime minister to release somebody, or out of prison, even though it was said that the two Canadians that were held over there, it had nothing to do with the fact that she was held in Canada. But then we see it as soon as she lands, those two dudes, they getting released. Our fellow Canadians getting released. And now, me as a Canadian and being on this side of the world, in between, I've been here 2 years, right? Exactly 2 years. She been in jail 2.5 years. How are we doing the math? Who's doing the math? Let me grab a calculator. I've been living here in Hong Kong 2 years. 4 years in the mainland, 6 years in total. 4 years in the mainland, 2 years in Hong Kong. She's been incarcerated 2.5 years. So 6 months prior me coming to this place here, she was incarcerated. How long does it take for new restrictions and new bless if you're going to church, my brother, bless, pray for all of us, and also just be blessed. Pray for yourself, pray for whoever may find themselves in a situation where they're finding difficulty. May the Lord bless all of us, and then also provide us with guidance in order to see clear, and then guide our thoughts and our conversation, so that every word that comes out of our mouth, there's nothing but blessing that comes out with it. So on that note, enjoy church, and then I'm gonna continue on with this thing that's going on here. So basically, again, once what I'm saying is, us Canadian being abroad, while this whole fiasco has been taking place of two of our fellow Canadians being held in the mainland, and the chief executive of Huawei being held in Canada. So definitely the exchange is real. As soon as she boarded the plane, that's like the mafia dudes, like, okay, she's on there, all right, take off those shackles. That's basically what had happened. Because as soon as she boarded a plane, already over there they're releasing people. So now we understand that there was a connection. And if we didn't know before, or if we were guessing that there was a connection, well, we guessed right. And again, it's not imperative that they also tell us that, yeah, it's connected. Basically they're telling us, you go ahead and live your life. But in between, again, between that situation and the release of everybody, we as Canadians, again, we're not getting extra sauce when we go to McDonald's. We're not getting extra chopsticks when you go to the Chinese restaurant. We're not getting any favors for being Canadians and being black. You feel me? You understand where I'm coming from? So again, I'm gonna lower my tone and try to really convey the message properly the way I'm trying to convey it. Why am I getting kicked out of Hong Kong? Right? Again, I explained. In between the chess move that just happened, the forced chess move from China to Canada, forcing them to release somebody in exchange of the 2 hostages that were there. In between those 2 transactions, it hasn't been easy for us here in China. But not once have you heard me complain. Not once have you heard me, calling home, complaining over and over. I complain a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie, I complain a lot. But when I complain, it's because I know that there's an immediate solution that can be bring forth, and sometimes we just don't see it. But listen, I'm here in Asia. I'm here in Hong Kong, and I'm not the one then to leave China and then start a bashing China, because the facts remains. Whether your feelings are changed, the facts remains. Like, you still need China as a connect. You still need China as a connect, whether you're mad at China or you're happy with China. And like my man mentioned, you have 2 types of people. People that never been to China. Sorry, people that hates China. A person that hates China, and a person that been to China. And that was commonly said, and then we all had a good life about that. But listen, regardless if I'm leaving China, out of my mouth, the facts remains that China is in the position where China can make those type of moves, forcing another country to play in their hand. That's just the position that China has. Now, my question is this: did he have the same position back in 1903? My man suggested that it's only, during the past 30 years that China has been coming up. Now, do you believe that in 1903, China can just decide, listen, you release that person or else? Let me go ahead, play a video clip of the movie Juice. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Juice. That's how I'm going to end this segment before I branch out into going back to the 1903 and the word Chinaman's chance, so then we can tie it back into the situation that just took place yesterday or before yesterday, where our prime minister, our Canadian prime minister, had to release somebody out of prison because China made that call. Just like how you make that call for some, if I go back to Canada and I land somewhere, I gotta make sure that my people are there. I gotta make that call. Like, okay, I'm thinking of coming that way. How's the situation over there? So the same way that China is able to make a phone call saying, listen, we want our daughter back. And we want our daughter back, you've been wasting time. And you best believe the longer she stays in there, she's a mother, her baby is not being fed, and she only has one child. So because you're taking food out of the baby's mouth, these 2 Canadian dudes that we have over here, they're not even getting chopsticks to chew on. This is the type of situation that China is able to do, and I'm not saying this in a negative way though. Let me not get confused with what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just showing you that China, has moved from the 1903 Chinaman's chance in the dictionary to a position where they can force people to make moves. on the chessboard. Again, let me drink some water. And play this here real quick, so we can understand what China is doing. So now, after this incident just took place where everybody's released, everybody's with their families, us Canadians being abroad, once again, whether you're in the mainland or you're in Hong Kong, we are going through a thing called the repercussions from the consequence of us doing something that we don't even know what we did wrong. Because mind you, we follow orders, American orders. As Canadians, even if we were to go to war, if you're a captain in the Canadian Army and then you have a captain from the American Army, of course, we're taking orders from the American Army. So, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But as Canadian, we might just bring you water. When there's a war, we might just bring you some water and just chill out. But my point again is that Canada was forced to make a move, and hopefully that move is gonna lead for an opening. I don't know for opening of what, because I'm not sure that China is ready to just let everybody come in as before, right? At this point, I actually believe China is, China could just be China. There's enough people there for them to subsist and exist and thrive within China without even having to go anywhere, right? There's that possibility. So with that said, let's see what's really going on here.
Gotta get it right, buddy. Bust him. Booyah! Booyah, pal! Booyah! Ha! Booyah! Oh, shit, love. Damn, still? What is this now, man? Make a little hot sauce, man. I make some like this on. You run out? Huh? You didn't throw this shit away.
But I only did it for you, Ed.
Cody still ain't gonna like to hear that she got it in the back.
Oh shit, shot his mom's in the back. Yo, still, man, why don't you let me borrow these two tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Dope. Excuse me, partner, can you keep that shit down? You see me watching TV. Ha! Gotta go out? That motherfucker took his destiny in his own hands. I'm done. What you know about it, Big Chop? What you ever control? I can control my life. That's bullshit. I got more control over your life than you do. Let me figure that. I'm letting you breathe, ain't I? You can't even walk your own block without getting fucked up already. Oh shit, it's blizzard!
A gunman was killed in a shootout with police as he attempted to rob the Harlemwood bar in Harlem just under an hour ago. The gunman, identified as 20-year-old Barnett Jenkins, wounded 2 officers before he himself was killed. On the news at 7, we'll have more on this story, as well as an update on the campaign by a Harlem community group to have the already financially strapped city provide more police protection on the subway L's after dark.
Shit. Man, what's your problem? You my fucking problem! People sweat us in the street, you don't even give a fuck! think you're exaggerating. That's bullshit, man. We went from the cops, we went from rider man, we went from security guards, we went from old man Quills in this fucking bullshit store when he come with that bullshit gun. All you do is fucking run. But I'm on the goddamn track team. I'm serious. What's the matter, Ryan? Nothing to say. That's cause you know I'm right. In your heart, you know I'm right. Yo, big man, if you want respect, you gotta earn it. You damn right. You gotta be ready to go down, stand up, and die for that shit like Blizzard did. If you want to, you. Blizzard ain't sticking up to nothing now. That's cause we wasn't there to back him up. If we was there, it'd be 5 that niggas instead of 1. You ain't saying nothing now, right, big man? Fuck. Yo, chill. No, fuck chill. Check yourself, Q. You gotta snatch some collars and let them motherfuckers know you that take them out anytime you feel like it. You gotta get the ground beneath your feet, partner. Get the wind behind your back by the blaze if you got to. Otherwise, you ain't shit. You might as well be dead your damn self. You trying to tell me I ain't shit? I ain't trying to tell you shit. I tell your mama you ain't shit. What we fighting? Turn your fucking back on me. Stand up from the fucking face, man! What the fuck is y'all doing, man? Damn, man, what the fuck? That shit out my shit, man! Speed y'all, watch TV. Man, fuck that money, man! Look at that shit, I gotta tell my mother and father, shut the fuck up! Alright, that's it! That's it! Come on, y'all. You're like brothers. Fuck that. You are brothers. No, fuck that. We used to be like brothers. All right, we're gonna squash it. What do you say, Bishop?
All right, man. Didn't mean to play for so long, but I had to play it. And as a matter of fact, I wanted to take this time to let you know that, I won in HK. It's the best internet cafe. Y'all should come and check it out if y'all don't believe me. Just fly in. Come try it out for yourself. But, I won Internet Cafe is the internet cafe that runs Hong Kong, and then that's where you get a lot of information, you get a lot of whatever you need for your computer needs, gaming needs, these type of things. So I won, man. That's what it is. So now let's get back to what we were saying. The reason why I was playing this video from the movie Juice, basically you can see a conflict. See, I'm talking about conflict. You see a conflict that exists, and the conflict is coming from everywhere and for no reason, and without one particular person actually understanding what is a conflict. You see? And then the end result is either we make peace or we keep the tension. But how long can we keep the tension? So now when I say that, Canada had to make a move, and the move that Canada did was basically to let go the women out of jail, because it seems like the whole world is on pause, because China definitely is in a position to just keep the world on pause because of its position, because of China's position. China is able to do that. China is not going along to get along with people. I keep repeating that. That's not what China is here to do, right? It's not a matter of, let's stop China from rising. No, again, maybe China wouldn't be able to do that in 1903. You know, when the phrase Chinaman's chance was coined. Maybe those days China wouldn't be able to just demand that you release someone from jail. But again, we don't want to be blind nor biased to say that no, China is a bully, because I don't feel like China is a bully. I feel like China rose from being, you know, in a position that most will look at as being the weakest position to a position where China is able to demand and command things that it needs in order for it to grow. And China is still developing. Nobody said China is fully developed. But China is ambitious enough to say, like, listen, where we're going, you may not catch up, but that's where we are going. So you may look at it like, okay, now slow down so I can catch up. But China doesn't have that time because China started from behind. If someone does not believe that China started from behind, that person will have to go back in the dictionary and Google the word or the phrase Chinaman's chance, and then you will see that in 1903 China was behind. Today, 2021, China is ahead. China is able to dictate, release our people, let my people go. Can black people do that? Are we in a position where we could just demand, let our people go, and people listen to us and they let us go? And then they fly us in, and people waiting for us with flowers that they made today, the same day that we coming in? And I'm not talking about Mick Mills coming out of jail for probation violation, and then renting a helicopter and then flying around Philly, and then giving back the helicopter because obviously it doesn't belong to him. I'm not talking about such a thing. Again, that just taps into the fact that us black people, we like to celebrate so much. We just like celebration. We tapped into celebration. It's one thing people being happy to see you being released from prison. There's another thing, flying. Next week I'm gonna go rent out a helicopter and fly around Hong Kong as well, just because I want to. But that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean nothing at all. So my point, getting back to the point, is the reason why am I getting kicked out of Hong Kong? Like, as I said, even right now as we speak, when I go on the platform where I trade my cryptocurrency, prior to Hong Kong banning cryptocurrency altogether, I was receiving a message because they know that I'm Canadian. Like that website, the platform on which I trade my cryptocurrencies, they're aware that I'm Canadian. So therefore, I get a message saying, we regret, starting from December 31st, you will no longer be able to trade on our platform. So therefore, I have up until December 31st to do however I want to do, but to find a way to transfer my funds from that platform onto another one, maybe a Canadian based one, right? So with that said, these type of signs have been going on, but it's hard to connect the dots because you don't really know if one thing is connected to another. These are the type of things that's been going on for us as Canadians abroad, specifically whether in China or the mainland, right? We've been getting our fair share of, I want to say stress, but I hate that word. But again, these are the type of things that have been going on, and what I'm trying to say is that's the reason why I said this is a real reason why I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong. It's because of these two scenarios that took place. 2.5 years ago, somebody was incarcerated in Canada. and now that same person is being released in exchange of two other people that were incarcerated as well. But in between that, as a Canadian and I think as an American as well, if you had an American passport, we've been going through it. We've been going through it, but nothing for us to be publicly complaining about, because we're not built that way. I don't think we're built that way, because it takes a lot of courage to leave one's country and fly into China. China is not a place where you just decide, okay, I'm going there on vacation. That's not on our list. We got Cuba, Dominican Republic, all those islands where we could go every weekend and come and fly right back. We don't. China is not in our list, right? So for somebody to leave their own country and then, fly into China, it takes a lot, So I commend anyone that's, that have taken that leap of leaving one's country and going to visit China. I'm one of those that, I encourage people to travel more. I'm not one of those that's telling you that, you must stay home, you must stay on your own, like in your own country, and never see other parts of the world. That's not a way to do things. That, especially when you're young, under 25. Some people are saying, like, because when you're 25, under 25, your I guess your faculties are not all intact. You can't make the right choices and things of that nature. So they advise people to just stay put wherever you are. But I'm one of those that's telling you that you should travel more. And so again, this is basically what I was trying to say. But now I'm trying to understand now the second leg of this. Where is China going next with this? As far as the relation with Canada and America, where are we going with this? Like, what's next? I guess we'll have to wait and see. We already know, again, the ambiance that goes in. That's already there. The energy that's already there between all three parties, and regardless of what's next, it's always really like, what's next for the black people? Because in all this, where do we stand as black people? Where do we stand? Are we just going along with whatever the agendas is coming from left, right, and center, and we just participants in it? Is that what's going on for us, black people? It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. To know exactly what's the plan that we have. I'm not going to say the plan that they have for us, but the plan that we have for us as black men. What is our in all this? China's position is not going to change. As a matter of fact, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it's going to grow, right? Their position is just going to be there because they came from behind. So while we're cheering for them, or while we're hating on them, the facts remain that we still have to do business with China. You cannot do, unless you're not doing any business, then yeah, to hell with China. Who cares about China? I'm not doing any business. I don't need no cup, I don't need no tea, I don't need nothing. Why do I need China for? Right? If that's the case, so be it. But if there's an ounce of the thought that's surrounded by the idea of going to, even having contact with China or finding a connection there in order for your business to grow, or you have China has a market as well, for you to move your products or your services to the Chinese market. It's the biggest market in the world. So when it comes to business, and business, it's equal to the economic solutions that everybody's trying to find for themselves, their family, and then their entire communities, and then, you know, that's what everybody's trying to do. So you can't really eliminate China like that. And and if you wanted to eliminate China, the solution that people have is like, don't buy things from China. What are we saying here? Why are we saying that? Like, what's causing us to hate, you know, to have such a hate? But again, I feel frustrated, but my frustration is never against those people, because I can understand that I'm not a part of, you know, I'm not a part of the pieces on the chessboard. They playing chess with the pieces that's there, and we're not included. We're not included in that game. And so it seems like we're just going along with whatever result that happens in that game. But who are the true players in the game? Again, that goes back to the question of who's racing, who's in the race. China is leading, but he's leading what race and who's involved? How do we split up? Are we splitting up countries? Are we splitting up races? Or are we splitting up streets? What are we, like, who's in the race? I still haven't gotten the answer. But regardless, you know, of the reason why I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong again, listen, I'm not going to speak ill of the Chinese people, because that's the exact reason why I left Canada and going abroad, is because I saw how they are over there, how they move over there, how united they are. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't get it. Like, we see it, so like, where's this idea coming from? Let me go to the source. Because a lot of time when you're exposed to people like, you know, your China Max, your Jin, these are, yeah, they're Chinese by blood, because anywhere that you see a Chinese person, they will get their respect. And whenever they're tired of wherever they are, they could always fly back to China and feel at home. Like, that's a fact. You know, but at the same time, I cannot follow a Jin or a China Mac as the example of, you know, of what I'm trying to understand. So I had to go to the source, and then so I can understand better. That's just the type of person that I am. But it took a lot of courage to do it. And so for the few little things that I've learned and understood, that's for me to keep and share that information with the people that I choose to share. Because once again, as black people, the main problem I feel like we have is we don't share the information, even within ourselves. And oftentimes the information, we got it from somebody else from a different community, where within that community that information is nothing. It's just like everybody knows it. It's just that because we didn't tap into that information, so when it gets to us, we thinking, oh, now we found out again how we built the pyramids. When in reality, we had all the information. How did we lose all the information? Beats me. But with that said, yes, I'm frustrated, but it doesn't bring me to a point where I need to speak bad about China, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Because again, the facts are there. China is in the position to force people to make chess moves that they want to they you know what I'm saying, like they're in that position. It's not something to look at and say, oh no, China is bullying, oh no, we must stop China. No, it's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's for you to see that China came from behind, and that's what they're doing now. And they got other plans, and their plans, it's not for someone to look at and say, oh, China shouldn't be considered a developing country because they're able to do this and this and that. So what didn't we do? You know, I'm pretty sure the goal was for everybody to reach that position. It's just that China got there first, coming from behind. You know. So on that note, man, you know, of course we need to ventilate every now and then. And I think I've ventilated enough. But my whole thing is, let China be, man. And the reason why I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong, to be honest, without really getting into specifics so that the mind is confused, you see it. It happened 2 days ago. You saw the chess move that he did. You saw it. You can't say you didn't see it. You saw the big chess move like in the books. Like when you open a novel and you read in a science fiction and, oh, this situation happened and someone made a call and that happened. This is what we just saw. But are we going to like turn a blind eye as if that didn't happen and just point fingers at China like, oh, China is bad? No. China is in the good position to make people make chess moves, and they can leverage. They have, you know, they're in the position to do that. And let's not forget that China doesn't need to open its border, and it can just close everything in and just live that way. But because the rest of the world are playing they're playing chess, they're playing checkers, China's playing chess, because the rest of the world is playing checkers, they're always going to welcome Chinese people, right? Because, you know, freedom to travel. So China is going to send its people to learn certain things and bring the information right back. That's one thing us black people, we don't do. We don't bring the information back. We don't share the connect. We don't share the information. What else don't we do? Oh, we celebrate. We celebrate a lot. We celebrate more than everybody. Like with the master celebrators. Master celebrators. That's what we do. And am I saying anything bad against my people? Of course not. The skin color ain't gonna change. That's me. That's me right there. It's not gonna change, man. Let me hear my man. My man be funny. Nah, not even this dude. Let me hear my man. To ventilate some of my frustration, sometimes I gotta hear my black people speak. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. But people, that's the reason why, you know, I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong. And the reasons you can see clear with your own eyes that's what's been going on in between those two moves. In between those two moves, man. That's what been taking place. Let me play my man here.
Seen on your post, but some people say, oh, that's Johnny Dang, he get a pass. How the fuck he get a pass and I don't? I'm nigga. Nigga, we killed the white boy and stood open. We've done white people bad all my life. Nigga, we ain't never done black people bad. How he get a pass, but y'all go against the nigga? Nigga represent niggas. I got Texas nigga on my shirt. Johnny Dang and now another Chinese motherfucker ain't never done nothing for us, homie. They didn't cry when Tamir Rice died. They didn't stand up with Mike Brown. Nigga, even from the time they was building the railroad through the Pacific, and one of them had Burlington Northern on the side. The niggas was building the Burlington Northern, the Asians was building Pacific, trying to race to meet in the middle. Nigga, they didn't fuck with us. Even in our stores, nigga. Our kids can't go in their stores and just shop freely. Leave your backpacks at the door. You know, come in here. Nigga, they do our kids bad. And they sell stale candy, outdated food to our people, and they will kill our children behind that stale candy. Nigga, expired snippers. They shot Latasha Harlan in the head. Nigga, we still ain't done nothing about that. How the fuck they get a pass, nigga? And somebody do something to them bitches, and within 1 year of a president, these bitches got all kind of laws enacted. 1-800, nigga, baddest niggas been done in this country, homie. And they ain't never spoke one time for us. They Chinese rappers can come over here and go nigga, 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 nigga. And then when they get mad at us, they can also say fuck you, nigga. We can't say fuck you, goop. We don't even know how to speak their language to disrespect them. So they come take on our culture. China Mac, Johnny Dang, they get to be niggas, huh? And when a nigga say, nah, fuck you, Chinese boy, go rap in your language. Until y'all get some back y'all been taking, nigga. Y'all don't even hire us. Go look at any Chinese restaurant, any Chinese store. See if a nigga working anywhere, my nigga. See if a half-breed motherfucker working. Nigga, they'll go learn Spanish before they learn how to talk to a nigga. So man, no, how you get that, nigga? Nigga, we supposed to be boycotting Johnny Dane. We supposed to shame every goddamn black rapper, take their black dollar to that nigga. I'm sorry, to that Chinese motherfucker, whatever the fuck he is, he ain't no nigga. But fuck him. My nigga, hey, my nigga. Hey, he got so much money, he's so rich, he telling us this white boy way richer than y'all. I'm making this white boy shit, you niggas, that's what he said. And you niggas clapping. Man, I'm sick of these niggas, homie. And they won't kill no white boy, they won't rob no Asian store. Now, I'm not promoting that, but I'm just giving some, that goddamn, we go rob each other, we go keep killing, we ain't gonna never think to go cross that railroad track and make the Chinese boy get protection when he closes his store. Make him pay something to a little league football team. Nigga, you been in this community 20 years, you ain't gave nothing back to us. I'm passionate about our people, homie. Man, as bad as we need jobs, the Asian boy know what he done told the black boy in America. He won't give us nothing. He turned his back against us. He closed his door on us. He don't give us no aid. And then when you look at how China is doing Africa and the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic, homie, they colonizing Africa now. Nigga, they robbing Africa. So now, nigga, I'm with niggas. And I stand with niggas.
You spoke out on it and a lot of people.
All right. Facts. Nothing but facts. Yeah, that's my way to ventilate. Definitely to ventilate. Whenever I'm frustrated, it's like it would be easy for me to attack the Chinese and to say whatever that's on my mind. But when you're in China, there's this energy that's around us. It's like it's hard to get somebody to actually say how they feel. That's one thing. But you try to keep it in, and eventually you have to let out some of it. So this is my way of ventilating. And like I said, it's basically me expressing the fact that the reason why I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong, I said, and I'm saying the reason why I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong is basically for the scenario that y'all seen happening 2 days ago or a day ago. I don't know where you live in the world, but our Prime Minister, our Canadian Prime Minister, has released somebody from jail, but in exchange of that's some Cold War stuff, right? We seen that a couple years ago but that's spies against spies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's apples against apples. You got our apples, okay, this is what we do, this is the game, okay, you got us, okay, this is not what we're talking about here. So but you see it happening, but it's even more serious than that, because in between, again, those chess moves that took place, we as Canadians and American over here abroad, we were feeling the repercussions of it. We were feeling something. And the energy was different. Now that chess move has been made, right? My sister here, Stella Brown, is saying that China hasn't forced anybody to make any, nothing. But that's fine. I will disagree with you another time, or we can disagree. We could agree and then disagree at the same time. It doesn't matter. But I don't know where you are in the world. I am over here in China. And so I'm just saying that, the energy that we were feeling during that time is different. It's definitely different. There's this energy, and it's still going now. Like as we speak, it's still going. It's not that tomorrow is gonna stop. I don't know when it's gonna come back to normal, or if it would ever get back to normal. But yeah, there's that energy going on where you can feel it. You go to 7-Eleven, you feel like you're not getting a thank you, welcome, or anything like that. Not that they know that you're Canadian, but I'm just saying, like places where they actually know, they can see your passport, and they see that, okay, There's nothing special because of that scenario that took place, is what I'm saying to you. So that's the real reason why I'm getting kicked out of China, and that's how we gotta look at it. And again, there are many reasons. It's like a funnel, but that's the reason. The reason you can see it with yourself, it was in the news. You saw the chess move. You saw how the woman landed. You saw the flowers that it made that same morning for her. You saw that. And you saw as soon as she boarded the plane over there, that's the time where the warden went personally with the keys and opened the prison doors to release our fellow Canadians. These are the type of moves that's going on. So, Stella Brown, I don't know where you coming from when you say that China is not forcing anybody to make any moves. Or maybe you missed when I said that China is playing chess and the rest of the world is playing checkers. Sorry. China is playing chess and the rest of the world seems to be playing checkers. And so on the checkerboard, you move side like a diagonal. You move your pieces here, and once you get a crown, you can make bigger steps. You can do that with a bishop alone on a chessboard. So China is playing a more complex game, and he's in the position. So how am I gonna end this live is basically by going back to the dictionary and reading again where China has started. And can we answer this one simple question? Do you think in 1903 China could have just said, listen, release her or else? When do you believe that China has really, started, putting itself in a position where they can now, kind of control their own destiny, let me say. Let me not say that they're controlling everybody's destiny, but controlling their own destiny. At what point do you think that China was able to do that? And then I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to go ahead and just Google the word Chinaman's chance so that we can try somehow to mesh it all in. I have my own frustrations, but I don't feel like I'm in I don't feel like it's right for me to just start bashing the Chinese and things of that nature, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I feel that way. Don't get me wrong. Like I feel that way. I feel like, listen, man, China is everywhere. It's in Africa over there, and I feel that way. I feel that way because that's what it seems like. So with that said, let me go ahead and read the dictionary again, and then we can end with that. Let me stop sharing this. Yeah, the chess move that happened, that took place, it's epic. It's an epic chess move. I'm not gonna lie. Our Prime Minister Jean Trudeau, he did what he had to do. But hopefully that chess move, it's beneficial to everybody. Just like Bishop and Q shook hands, let's move on from here. We brothers. Let's do it. And mind you, as a Canadian, I already understood that this whole beef, it's not really, even though we brothers, it's like it was coming from over there. That phone call was coming from somewhere else. Canada just answered it. All right, we're gonna keep her here for you. And then China made a different call. It's like, listen, stop playing with us. We're not having that. It took 2 years. Those are the 2 years I've been here. Those 2 years that they were going back and forth for, listen, you gotta let her go. And our brother over there, like, nah, man, we need her over here. Like, she did something foul. And us being in the middle, like, listen, we gotta go with our brother. But the other cousin is calling, like, listen, man, just let her go. But it's distant cousin. We're not listening to China like that. That's what took place. But China's in the position where, unless you guys want to live by yourself over there, and then I don't know how fast you guys can make factories. Then we don't need China in that case. But if we're gonna do, what we gotta do in order to move forward, you can't take out China like that out of the equation. It's just like yelling for nothing. Alright, man, let me go on Google here. But let me go. Let me hear somebody that this person doesn't agree with us, like doesn't agree with me at all. This person said that China is preparing for a war now. It's preparing people for war. Let's hear this person that's saying that, oh, China's getting ready for war. War for where? War to go where now? My man is saying,
why is the Western world so damn stupid when it comes to dealing with China? Why is it that we allow them to get away with what they get away with? Okay, I've recently been watching a lot of what's been flying around with regards to Australia specifically. As you may know, Australia has now signed a deal. They're going to be getting nuclear submarines because they need nuclear submarines because of the threat from China in the region. Let's be honest, China's been ramping up this massive navy. They're building these false islands. They're doing all this kind of stuff. They're very aggressive, and especially their rhetoric is very aggressive. They've been very aggressive towards Australia as far as trade policies are concerned, and in general they like to do a lot of trumpeting and chest thumping and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm sure you've seen the clip of Victor Gao, who is the Vice President of the Center for China and Globalization and a Chair Professor for Suzhou University, as well as being a former translator for Deng Xiaoping, the previous chairman of one of the previous chairmen of mainland China.
Australia, it's...
Listen, I'm not even gonna bother with this part here, because already the tone, it's already negative to start with. And you always have to ask yourself, why is it that someone who have lived in China for 10 years, stemming from South Africa, but all of a sudden speaking for the American people? I don't get it. Like, what's going on here? Right? Like, I don't get it. And then you have people actually listening to the brother talking about China in a negative way. This brother here is not from America. He's in America now, but he's not. Like, come on now. Like, I mean, he could be American, but how is he speaking for America? How is he speaking for America? Like, the rest of the world is stupid for not going after China. This is what the man said. That's the man's message. That the rest of the world is stupid for not going after China. And he's the one that suggested that we must slow down China. And then he's the same person that suggested that the way that we can stop China is not buying anything from China. And it's the same person that's married to a Chinese woman, and she's Chinese from China, and he said he doesn't want anything to do with China or anything made in China. She was made in China. Somebody show this man the garbage bin. Somebody gotta show him garbage bin. He wants to throw everything out. Let me go on Google real quick, and then I'm gonna end it with this. I had to ventilate, people. That's the reason why I'm getting kicked out of China. Hong Kong, China, it's the same. Type China man's chance one more time for you guys. China man's chance is an American idiom first attested in 1903, meaning little or no chance at all. And that's a reference to the Asians, Chinese in particular. They had no chance at all. 1903. So again, at what point did China then became, even in a position to kind of get itself out of that situation. Because we know now in 2021 they're definitely in the position to make chess moves such as, listen, let her go or else. And China, not just that, China doesn't care about our money, your money, right? So it's not it's like, listen, if you're talking about let's stop China's growth by stop buying from China, that don't make any sense. 1.8 billion, they're gonna just buy it and sell it within it themselves. Bitcoin mining made everybody a millionaire, billionaires. Bitcoin mining alone made everybody rich for the past 5 years. That's the China story, and I'm gonna end it with this. You know, I'm hoping that I was clear. I'm not kind of clear. I'm hoping that I was clear as, you know, the reason why I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong. But I'm not going to go into specific again because we are under, you know, not under a rule or anything, but, you know, as a man, you don't want to speak out of turn. You don't want to speak out, you know what I mean, like start saying things and after that you're going to have to retract them and apologize for them or anything of that nature. So what I'm saying is something that, you know, everybody can look it up. No, you can Google it yourself. Chinaman's chance to see how weak China was at one point and how strong is China now. And I'm getting kicked out of Hong Kong, but that doesn't mean that all of a sudden I'm gonna speak against the people, because they still the same people that did what he did. It's still a beautiful story, you know. So with that said, salute again. This live was brought to you by, what was it brought to you by? I1, the internet cafe. You can check them out at www.i-1.com.hk, as in Hong Kong. And so, you know, that's the best place to get your video gaming going and anything of that nature. So on that note, salute. Still in Hong Kong though. Okay, let me go out. Let me go out. I'm out.